Hello everyone, it is your boy Winster and I'm back at it again with another video. Hopefully you guys had a phenomenal Christmas and you guys got to spend quality time with all your friends and family and loved ones. If you guys don't celebrate the holidays, hopefully you guys just had a good day and just lounged around, chilled, had a phenomenal time. But today we are going to be doing a deck profile, updated deck profile on the Centurion strategy. This is an update from a recent deck profile that I did. If you guys want to check that out, placed on a card somewhere on screen. But before we get into today's video, guys, please be sure to hit that subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Also, be sure to check the description box, guys. There is a Discord, which is very active, TikTok, Twitter, and Twitch. Everything is going to be linked below. That way you guys could check it out and be part of the action and sometimes catch me on live recordings that I do upload on this channel. Let's go ahead and jump right into today's video. So this is the third draft of the deck. When I first started putting everything together, I was playing Centurion Horse, which I never made a profile on. If you guys want to see Centurion Horse, let me know in the comment section. But that build didn't really work for me. I don't really feel like the Horse engine really pushed the deck to what I wanted it to be. So I scrapped it and then ended up doing a more pure version, which I ended up doing a video on. Be sure to check that out. That worked really well, but it definitely bricked because you played on a lot of non-engine. This build is obviously Centurion Bystial, which works phenomenally. A couple of changes in the deck. I'll definitely get to those points once we get there, but significant changes in this build is really working for me. Probably the best build that I've made so far. So let's jump right into the profile. This is a 40 card build. That's one thing I really like about Centurion. It's such a small engine that you could play a lot of like non-engine cards, hand traps, board breaker, you name it, you could play it. You could play this deck realistically in any way that you can, but this engine is really working out for me. Okay, I played 3 copies of Centurion Primera. There's not really much to say. It's a Searcher of the Archetype, the best normal summon in the whole deck. Level 4 light tuner. Multiple ways to get this card out to the field. Definitely best card. And then we played 3 copies of True Dea. This card is amazing. We're going to have more consistent ways to get to this card other than the Centurion stuff when Bonfire gets released, because it searches a Pyro monster, and that's exactly what this is. Becomes a level 8. That way it could facilitate Synchro 12 plays. This card is amazing. And then I play 1 Centurion Emeth. This card is absolute trash. The only reason that I'm even playing this is because I want to guarantee Synchro 12 plays, but I don't know who at Konami was thinking that this is going to be a good effect, which it can be, right? It just sucks that it's only on your opponent's turn. Why would they make a quick effect only on your opponent's turn? I don't get it. But it does help you get dodge cards like Effect Veiler, Imperm. But if it was a quick play on either player's turn, it would be a lot better. And even then, it wouldn't even make it that much better. It'd still be a brick like it is. But you at least have to play the one. That way you could guarantee your Synchro 12 plays. And then, of course, we played 3 Embla Oath. This card is amazing. Does like every other Centurion card. Places 1 from the deck to the spell and trap zone. The one downside, if you control that name that you summon off of this, you're locked from the extra deck to only Centurion cards. But you're going to get rid of it because you're going to go into Synchro 12. And then we play the 3 field spell, Send Up Centurion. This card is amazing. It does not work under Shifter because you have to discard as cost, which does suck, but it works just like every other Centurion card. Place 1 from the deck, which can't be ashed. And for the last bit of the Centurion engine, I play 1 Bond and 1 Phalanx. This is really great removal. Does target, unfortunately, so that does come up where maybe you can't target something, but great removal. And then the Bonds is great follow-up because you can place 1 from the grave to the spell and trap zone, and it's a quick play, so that's what makes it really, really good. So for my Bystial package, I am playing 1 Lubellion, 1 Magnuma, and then 2 Druisworm. Originally, this was it, and this is a very strong package, especially when you're going in the Unchained matchup. But I added 1 Regain. Now, at first, I wasn't playing Regain at all. But I found myself too often having like the Lubellion and not having any target to place from the deck to the field. So the fact that I added the Regain is amazing. Gives you draw power, gives you recursion on the Bystials. So one change I am thinking is adding another copy Lubellion. This is a pretty big change for consistency. I ended up playing 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity. This is a pretty big change because I was playing Desires. Now the reason I was playing Desires because you could play multiple names of everything, right? Especially Emeth. I was playing 2 copies at first, but I just found myself breaking way too much. And I hate that card, Emeth, but I at least like having 1 copy of it. But because I don't want to brick on it, I ended up adding these types of consistency cards. Yes, this does not work well with the boss monster because you have to draw and then pop. But it's still good enough because a lot of the time, let's say if you got the Primera and then you got the Embla Oath or you got the field spell with the name Trudea or Primera, you could just end up discarding this for the field spell. It doesn't really matter. You could use this multiple ways, but it is just a way to guarantee you'll be able to see some names. On to the non-engine, I am playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom. I'm just playing 3 copies of every best hand trap in this format, realistically. 3 copies of Valor, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. And this is one change that ended up making. I just found myself breaking a little too much. It doesn't come up as much, so I changed the ratio. I now play 2 copies of Nibiru. This is still really, really good in the deck. I like having it just in case because the matchups do come up, but it just doesn't come up enough. So I just decided to cut down on 1 copy. Another pretty significant change is I play 3 copies of Fenrir now. Man, this card is amazing, right? It's a phenomenal card. However, there are downsides to some of the changes that ended up playing. This card being one of them, and Pot of Prosperity being one of them. So the really good thing about the deck, right, is that a lot of the time, so the problem with these, right, even though they're phenomenal cards, they play into some of the best hand traps in the game, Nibiru and Droll. That is one other upside to this deck is that usually they don't play into those, right? Because the engine always ends on 4 summons and then you pass your turn and then go into Calamity Lock. Or that's the plan. But if you summon Fenrir, you start playing into Nibiru. If you don't have any other plays and then you just go into the Prosperity, they could draw you, they could ash you. That is the one downside to this. Not that they're bad cards by any means, it does suck when those hand traps that usually don't affect you do. But I played triple copies of Fenrir. I remember this card comes in so clutch, man. It's still such a strong card. I'm surprised it hasn't been even hit on the ban list yet. I'm waiting for it to do so. But yeah, 3 copies of Fenrir. And then I play 3 copies of Triple Tactics Talons. This is one change I have been thinking about. Like I said earlier, I was thinking about adding another Lubellion to the name. That way I could see some of the Bystial stuff a little bit more often. This is one card that I was thinking maybe changing the ratio to and just adding that Lubellion. But this card usually does come up if you activate Pot of Prosperity. Obviously, you won't be able to get the draw effect, but you could at least look into your opponent's hand, get rid of whichever starter that they have. That way they won't play. And then you have all the rest of your hand traps to just stop your opponent. Onto the extra deck, I am playing 1 Scarlight. This is just for time. You know what's so funny? I remember I put this in, and I went into my locals, and I ended up coming across the situation with like time, right? And I honestly forgot that I had this card in my extra deck. It was the funniest thing. I'm like, oh wait, I could have fucking won and just gone into Scarlight. But this does come up pretty often because this deck does have a hard time OTKing if you use like Calamity Lock and stuff like that. But it does come up, so make sure you remember if you guys are playing it. Synchro 10s, I am playing Baron de Fleur, Chaos Angel. These cards are super easy to go off of. Any Bystial and Trudea, Primera, and this is the easiest thing to go into because it's literally any Bystial, Trudea, or Primera. And then, of course, the Centurion monsters, I play 2 Legatia. The one thing that the deck is missing is a Synchro 8. Hopefully we get that soon. I know there's that generic one that places stuff from the graveyard to the Spell and Trap Zone. I don't remember how it works, but I know that it is a Synchro 8 generic, and of course you're going to be playing that card in this deck. But yeah, these cards are phenomenal. Huge beat sticks, 3,500, little hard to get over. On top of that, they draw you a card. and they could, place the monster from the graveyard, non-targeting, into the spell and trap zone. And then I play my Mathmake Final Sigma as my other Synchro 12. This card is amazing. It's really good against the Flu matchup, which I do think this deck has a hard time with. Because of the whole shifter thing, the field spell discards for cost. The monsters set themselves off of the Synchro 12. It's just really, really hard. But yeah, this is a really good card against the Floowandereeze strategy. As for my other Synchro 12 targets, I play, of course, the Calamity, and of course, we play the Blazar. This card is so good, man. Negates the battle phase, right? If they declare an attack, negates the summon of any sort, spell trap effect, monster effect. It's just so crazy. And of course, to facilitate all, we play the Crimson Dragon. And of course, that QCR rare, I forgot that I ended up pulling that. Like I said, it is a very huge toolbox deck. You could play anything in the extra deck. Really doesn't really matter as long as it fits. But you could play. I play the one Exciton Knight, good board wipe. And then we play the one Abyssroller for the tier matchup. But I doubt that this is going to be really useful because tier's dead, baby. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. And then we play the one Baguska, and then we play the one Typhon. This does come up, has came up multiple times. And then we play the one Zeus. And then that is it for the Exceed monsters. And then last but not least, we play one Little Knights. But guys, that is going to be it for today's video. Let me know in the comment section, how do you guys enjoy it? Do you guys like the Bystial engine in the Centurion? Do you like the Horus engine? Do you like the Pure engine? Let me know in the comment section. I will love to hear about it. I personally think that the Bystials are a great addition, and even adding more might be the right option, but only time to tell. But right now, I am really enjoying it because on top of that, I get to play some of the best, monsters in the game right now. Guys, do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to turn on the notification bell, and let me know what you guys think. My name is Winster. Peace out. Have a good rest of your day.